Hi, and many greetings to Ukraine. Are you in Odessa now?
Very good. It's sunny today, but we're at home, obviously. So we can go for a walk, but it's okay.
Thank you very much for joining. Now 450 attendees are watching live.
Wow.
So the mic
Very
is
good.
yours. Go ahead.
Okay, guys. Hello again. I hope you hear me well. Please give me a sign if the connection is good, but I think the connection is
Yeah,
good.
it's okay.
And if you see my presentation, yeah, first of all, again, thanks for having me today. Huge honor to talk for online advertising and to share my experience. My name is Eugene. I run a marketing department at Serpstat, all-in-one SEO platform. And those of you who are familiar with Serpstat probably know that we invest a lot of money and we invest a lot of effort in content marketing. There are many reasons for this, but the most obvious of them you may find on this slide. But the crucial thing is money. To give a better understanding of how we operate, I should say that Serpstat is almost 2 annual recurring revenue so far with 3,000 clients on board. This means that the tool has quite a low lifetime value on every check. So taking into consideration these digits, we found out that this marketing channel is among the most effective and affordable for us. Then next, in 2019, we did a lot of changes to our content marketing strategy. We grew up the team and set up a number of experiments to find out how we can scale the blog. Today, I'm going to share the processes, the strategies, and of course, the results that we got. But before I start, I need to say that Serpstat is a part of Netpeak Group, and all these tips are based on the experience of all Netpeak Group blogs with almost 500,000 unique visitors per month. So the next slide shows the summarized key metrics of Serpstat blogs. In 2019, we reached 200,000 visitors per month and $100,000 in revenue in the first 9 months of 2019. I want to pay your attention that we measure revenue results by OXBI multi-channel attribution model, which shows the blog revenue share and the real effects of the blog. Here's the team involved in growing blogs and our career ladder. The minimum, from my experience, the minimum required number of editors per blog is 1 per language. And for a very long time, we had only 1 editor per language who was responsible for everything. From the beginning of 2000, we have 5 full-time editors and roughly 5 to 7 remote authors. To make it more clear, I will briefly mention the main responsibilities of these people. So the head is responsible for money, strategy, for hiring people, for planning, for growing the blog, etc. Editorial head is the person who creates new content and distributes this content via newsletters. And these 2 gentlemen called editors are people who are responsible for temporary projects, and one of them also manages a team of remote authors, and I will tell you about this a little bit later. So today's presentation is divided by 2 parts, 2 blocks: new content creation and old content reoptimization. I'm super limited by time, that's why I see no reason to tell you in details how do we create new content. Instead, I'm gonna share the best types of content from our experience. Please know that some content is created for attracting new customers and revenue, while others help us build community. That's why the key metrics for these different types of content can be different, and you should consider this when you analyze the results that your content give you. So the next slide is Okay, so the first one, and probably the favorite one, is ratings. I can say that people love ratings because ratings are ego beating. And if you allow people to vote for someone or something like, let's say, the best specialist or the best company or the best event or whatever that is relevant to your business, be sure and be ready to get a lot of traffic and to get a lot of activities from those who are involved in this rating and from their community, from their subscribers and so on. But on the other hand, you have a risk to tons of negative comments and tons of negative reviews from people who think that your rating is not fair enough. Anyway, we run four, I think 4 ratings a year, and we combine their 2-3 different top types of 2-3 different rank algorithms to make sure that our rating is fair enough and to avoid negative. The main problem here is none of these ratings have ever gave us even single large customer. And but anyway, I start with this content because ratings give us very valuable connections and very valuable collaborations with opinion leaders, with partners, new blog authors, and brand awareness, and that's all. So unlike ratings, these type of content give us good quality leads and top sales. We run a lot of surveys and analyze the market with our own data. We collect big data, we visualize it and share with the market. And many blogs and business editors, they love this data and they are ready to publish it for free. That's why, from my experience and from our analytics, surveys is the cheapest content in terms of distribution. The crucial, you get a lot of data and a lot of feeds that you can work in your sales processes. So the next one, if you have community with ambassadors or loyal customers and opinion leaders, you want to that want to contribute to a blog, use them to make sure that your content looks more trustful for people. That's the reason why we love ratings, because ratings, that I told you before, they help us get in touch with experts, with opinion leaders, and use their names and their brands in our further content. And content with famous names obviously gets more traffic and obviously a bit more has a bit more social activity, has more social activities in social media. Another option for communicating with opinion leaders is personal interviews. They are not so good as the previous one, because as experts Roundup, because here you are focusing only on one person. However, and they have worse results. However, anyway, it's still very good, and we usually organize these interviews in Twitter chats where community members ask questions to experts. So we invite these experts in our Twitter chats. They speak they talk with community members, and that helps us to save time on preparing questions in advance, and save time on preparing the content. And this is an example of where well-organized communication between two departments. When one department, I mean social media department, they make this interview on social media, on Twitter, and another department get the results and publish these results on blog. So, and the last type of content that I want to tell you and works really good is entertainment. We design and draw stories that may be relevant to our customers, and we have noticed that people love stories, people love pictures, and they share it with a big pleasure. And these comics can be a good addition to your content plan and your social media. But pay attention that entertainment content, it is extremely time and money consuming, and hardly gives you good quality leads, but it always receives a lot of traffic and sometimes can be viral. So it's very good in terms of distributing and in terms of overall brand awareness and social media activities. So here I want to very briefly say that I would like to mention that we collect results not only for a single page or a single piece of content, but also the summarized results for a group of content. This helps our editorial team to plan initial content according to the average data and to avoid the error caused by abnormous growth of a single piece of content or a single article that we spent a lot of money to promote it on social media, for example. So we look for the average price per demo or price per lead for a group of articles or for a cohort of articles instead of results for a single page, and this helps a lot. So on this slide, I have put 5 more types of regular content that we publish. I will not stop by them all. However, I'm gonna share my thoughts about the last one on this list called How to Content. If you remember the slide with the team, I have mentioned that we have a guy who is responsible for managing remote teams, remote copywriters. And at the beginning of 2019, he started a project with the main big goal to write as many educational content as possible and to cover all semantics with the content. So I want to start by how to content. Starting this project, we expected to grow organic traffic and educate our customers. By the way, education is another crucial thing that is another important role of your blog and a crucial thing. Serpstat is very, very complex tool. And every 6 months, we analyze and we collect thousands of negative reviews from our customers to find out what they don't like. We analyze platforms like G2 Crowd or Captira to find out what customers dislike. And among the top 5 negative reviews, we see hard learning, steep learning curve, and hard onboarding for the tool. That is why we made a decision to write as many educational content as possible. The results are first. We had 1 full-time editor, roughly 5 copywriters, and after a deep keyword research, this team has written and published in 2019 295 articles in the first 6 months period. We have covered the whole semantics and got 2 results. The first one you can see on this chart. The constant growth of organic traffic, which is stable even after the project is completed, and it's stable even now in 2020, and it will be growing constantly all the time. And the second, we have totally fucked up with the leads. Our ideal customer is a representative of an SEO agency with high expertise and in search marketing. These people understand the value of the product, and when you create a how-to content, be ready to get advertised at all. As a result of a 6 months run, we received a flood of leads. However, the conversion from the lead to qualified lead was very low, was significantly lower than our normal conversion. And that's why we've been forced to make changes to our quality processes. Another problem that we have faced is educating and growing expertise of your initial team of copywriters. When you need to write so many contents in a short time with a team of copywriters that are not specialists and are not that are not familiar with your tool and are not specialists in SEO, it sometimes can be a challenge. So here I collected recommendations on how to reduce costs on content and grow the quality of your content. The first one is super obvious. If you write an article relevant to partner or another not competing tool, just ask them to write about this on your blog. In this case, you get a free piece of content with high expertise, but it's super obvious. Probably you guys know it. The second tip requires good communication skills from your editor. The idea here is to find among your community to find specialists and opinion leaders and arrange them to proofread and approve the content you create. In every piece of how-to content, we add a photo of a specialist, the notes about him, and write that this content was approved by this specialist. This specialist, this proofreader, he gets a backlink, he gets mention, and sometimes even free access to the tool. The third hack is to give the content to specialists rather than copywriters. I mean, if you write about machine learning, go to Freelance Hunt and find a freelance programmer who develops machine learning and ask him to write about this process instead of engineering, instead of programming, and ask him to write about this. Believe me, it works well, but you need to make a lot of editing and to rewrite the text, and in most cases it can be expensive, really. And the fourth one is also very obvious, but it's very difficult to achieve. Educate your team. Before this project, we didn't have any experience we never worked with remote orders, and we didn't have any experience with working with them, controlling the remote copywriters. And we have faced a lot of problems with managing and educating the remote teams. But Serpstat is famous for well-organized structures, automated processes, and clear key performance indicators for every single employee. That's why we organized, on this slide, I showed an example. We organized a sort of competition between freelancers. We shared them all the data, including traffic, registrations, demo requests from their content. The data has live updates and available for everyone who writes for us. The idea here is to make a competition between them and to involve the copywriters in companies' processes. We all understand that this competition is not fair enough because copywriters usually don't have a full impact on content, on distribution of this content. That's why this statistic doesn't affect the final salary of copywriter. But this graph makes the most important thing is recognition, and we give different valuable presents. We recognize achievements, and we even change rates according to quarter results. And as a result, we get motivated part-time employees who are interested in growing results and growing the blog and working full-time for us. Another great project that I want to mention is alt content reoptimization. The main idea here is to collect a list of alt content, analyze how it performs and update structure, meta text, screenshots, and internal linking. So it's just regular SEO optimization. First of all, the results. Here you may see that we have spent 7 months on this project. And during this period, our editor has rechecked and reoptimized almost 300 articles. And as a result, it gave us 200% organic growth in a 6 months run. And comparing to Q3 of the previous year, we have raised organic traffic share from 9 to 56%, I think, of the total traffic here. Yes, and here on the next slide, I prepare a very brief checklist of content optimization. The first one is the easiest part. You need to export all your articles to Google Spreadsheets and then sort them according to organic traffic. The next one, we collect all the relevant keywords that rank these articles on the second and third Google web pages. These are positions from 11 to 30. We use Serpstat for getting the tree view, and optimizing these keywords, you'll probably get to the first 10 results with the lowest effort, because if you are on the 11th positions, you're almost in the top. So you need to put the lowest effort, and it's quite easy. And here we collect the missing keywords at Serpstat. The missing keywords algorithm analyzes other web pages that are competing for the traffic and we collect those keywords that your competitors have in the articles, in the similar articles, but you don't. Some of them may be rubbish, so you need to make sure you checked out the list, and manually leave only those keywords that are relevant to your article and they're good. And the next, after these steps, you get a list of articles and keyword recommendations. On the next steps, you should organically add these keywords to the text structure, headers, title, description, alternative texts. Besides playing with keywords, pay attention on updating the content and screenshots. And of course, I highly advise to run a web page audit for your site to find all the issues and errors that may be on your site, and you need to fix them to rank higher. Then find familiar to each other articles and put the links between them, so make in turn increase the average time on the site, and Google definitely loves it. And of course, our position tracking to monitor your progress, to monitor the progress of your content marketing and your team and your blog. And that's all. All these steps have gave us a great result in 2019. As a conclusion, I would say that comparing to the previous year, we have raised the blog revenue from 3 to 9% of total company revenue, and that's a great result, probably, and that's the main result. And yeah, that's all for today. Thank you, guys.
Do you hear me, Evgeny?
Yeah, very good. I hear you well.
Thank you very much for this presentation. I see a lot of work you have done with your department, and congratulations for that. Can you share some ideas and some strategy for this year?
Okay, so the main idea this year is that we had a marketing department and we had a customer support department, and we combined them in one big team. And now the marketing department is responsible for new high quality content, surveys, researches, and so on. And the customer support department is responsible only for educational content. So again, we pay a lot of attention to educational content, and we pay a lot of attention to the content about the tool, but they are in charge of our customer support department, because customer support, they have higher expertise and they know better the tool. And that's why our editorial team, they have now more time to spend on more difficult content like surveys and like research and so on.
Okay, thank you very much. And Marina is asking how we can set up position tracking. Maybe I skipped that part.
Set up position tracking. For position tracking, you need your keywords that you want this page to rank for, and you set up in Serpstat. You can do it, and then analyze. Serpstat gives you everyday updates, so every single day you can see how your content, how your website is changing comparing to your competitors. And it's a very easy process, but it's a crucial thing, because if you don't analyze it on a daily basis, your competitors can go higher, and you will not find why they did it.
And maybe last question, Evgeny, can you share some quick advices from marketing perspective? How do you find the current situation as a software as a service, as a marketing communication or activities? I think it will be very useful.
Yeah, it's useful part, and we create a lot of content that, because of the situation, sometimes become viral. For example, we did a huge roundup where we asked a lot of experts. Now we collect, and we have more than 1,000 experts so far. How this situation, how their businesses face this situation, what did they do, and so on. And these data help us create content that can become viral in the current situation. Also, we did, like a marketing department, we did we gave huge discounts to our customers to support them. So we can't give free access to the tool right now. We cannot do this. That's why we did 35–50% discount during the whole month. It was in March, to support our customers. And in this case, we shared our support like this. Okay. So my advice now is,
Last question from...
my advice now...
Okay, continue.
Yes. Yeah, my advice now is to use this situation to grow your marketing activities as many as possible, and to hear your customers, to talk to your customers, and to support them if you can, with discounts, with whatever.
Absolutely agree. Last question from Dimitar. What is the most efficient content distribution method to achieve the first few thousands visitors per month for a new blog in the B2B space?
Okay, very good question. If you don't have money, for a very long time we did distribution on Quora, because Quora was one probably of the most effective place to distribute our content, because we didn't have any money for distributing. Now we do a lot of paid, we attract a lot of paid traffic from Facebook, and also we distribute it through the community that we have on Facebook. But in your case, probably it's not an idea, because your blog is a new blog. And also when we do roundups with our experts, we ask experts to distribute this content among their social media and among their communities, and this gives the best results, because it's cheap, it's literally free, and it gives you a lot of traffic.
Thank you, Eugene. Thank you again for your presentation, for joining the event, and many greetings to Ukraine, and of course to achieve all your goals in Serpstat. stay healthy, and there are 430 attendees live, and this virtual applause are for you.